Healing Together is a modern approach to medical costs that seeks to help those in the worst physical and financial shape by harnessing the power of the sharing economy. Our organization takes on the high-risk patients with no health insurance and large medical bills to build a community of financial and emotional support. We operate as a product of communities formed when people build relationships and share resources with each other in times of need. Three problems within the existing market drive the need for Healing Together. First, there exists the inability for underinsured and uninsured patients to pay for their medical bills in full. Patients within this group feel trapped by financial burdens created by the existing healthcare and insurance system, often finding themselves considering other extreme measures to settle their overwhelming debt, such as bankruptcy or even mortgaging their homes. The second problem is those who did have medical coverage still had unmanageable medical bills due to extremely high deductibles, often leading to irresponsible behavior. In fact, it is very common for these individuals to forego necessary medical treatment in order to avoid the corresponding bill that comes with it. Finally, the third issue within current medical care system is that patients often feel they are being treated simply as a number, an impersonal approach that makes communicating difficulties uncomfortable, causing the idea of owning health insurance to be seen as a necessary evil that must be accepted. Healing Together has an immense opportunity to address these three main problems with three corresponding solutions. First, Healing Together provides medical coverage to patients that require our help by means of immediate payment to their medical care provider. Then, over the course of an agreed-upon time frame and terms, members repay the cost of their bills. The last thing Healing Together wants is for patients to skip out on medical care due to their inability to pay for treatment. This is why we offer a service that ultimately lowers the overall cost of patients' medical bills by means of exclusive negotiated rates with medical care providers. This is ultimately our organization's secret sauce that allows Healing Together to help as many members as possible. Finally, Healing Together gives the medical coverage market a sense of community and camaraderie through the model in which we retain and disperse funds. As members make their payments to the organization, those funds are added to a community pool from which we pull from to fund other member health care situations. In these pools, we group and connect willing members to allow everyone to express gratitude to each other, share experiences, and build community. Given our primary goal of financially supporting those who are healing from intense medical treatments, we will track the health outcomes of our members by their rates of recovery versus the national average or control for a given circumstance. For example, if one of our members has a stroke, we will compare their recovery schedule and final outcome to the national average. The success unit would be measured by our members' metrics expressing a greater chance of recovery than the average. By alleviating the stress that high medical bills can cause, this barrier is removed, increasing our members' healing recovery rate. To understand how well the concept of cost sharing and community building works, we need to know what percentage of members will complete their payment schedule and fully repay into the pool. This metric will be affected by factors such as members' death and/or payment stopped by a member. The measurable portion of this metric will be tested again against the national average of patients paying off bills to medical providers. We are confident the sense of community, a concept of giving back to those who have helped you, and personalized repayment schedule will result in a much lower rate of those that don't repay their loan compared to the national average. From a commercial standpoint, we need a metric to determine when we can take on new members into the community pools. Healing Together will use a formula that closely mirrors how bank figures the amount of cash on hand it must have versus the loan amount it is currently carrying to determine our level of risk and fitness for payment. This is called the liquidity ratio. From a higher level, this metric will allow us to measure how much cash on hand has been paid back into the community pools and weight this against the cost of a new member's medical bill. We need to be able to cover the new member's medical bill with the cash on hand in order to take on additional members. Healing Together is the only option for underinsured and uninsured patients with medical bills they cannot afford. Insurance companies require expensive premiums paid in advance and expensive co-pays after receiving medical care. Healing Together is an alternative to this expensive system. The community pools of Healing Together can be accessed at any time during or after a medical expense. No other company helps both patients and medical providers, helping patients afford the medical care they need and helping medical providers get paid quickly. Furthermore, no other company can help patients pay their medical bills immediately after it is received before ruining the patient's financial credit history. In fact, Healing Together does the opposite. We not only pay the medical provider for the care the patient needs, but we also help heal and build the patient's credit simultaneously. Additionally, the small regular payments help build a patient's assets because their entire monthly income is not lost to one medical bill. Thereby, they are able to afford their monthly expenses and even save a little for the future. Building Together's model puts patients first, both financially and emotionally, the same way medical providers do in their clinical care. Healing Together is a reusable product and service for everyone involved, and members can access the community pools anytime a medical expense arises. Through our design thinking framework and ethnographic research, we found a need to help those with high medical debt. Healing Together offers this kind of assistance, a service that does not yet exist. Collections agencies are often aggressive and adversarial. We wanted to build something people wanted to be a part of. We wanted to be the first to market with a community-based system of sharing resources. This provided an answer to those in need, as well as allowing us to capture a large market share in an unserved space. Healing Together would be a new entrant into the medical bill cost-sharing field. This allows us to have the unfair advantage of capturing the large market due to the lack of competition. Beyond being first in the blue ocean, we wanted to sustain the company in ways other financial assistance companies do not. Through building communities of people who pay each other back into shared pools, Healing Together will create not just allegiance with our cause, but allegiances with the communities we serve. Behavior is more strongly influenced by relationships than it is by mandatory rules. Therefore, our unfair advantage is that the connection people feel to each other will allow the company to operate and succeed in a way traditional insurance companies do not. Since facilities are willing to negotiate with those who are uninsured, Healing Together saw an opportunity to become an advocate for our members. Our market advantage is that we are able to negotiate our customers' medical bills down on their behalf. Medical facilities will find us attractive since we guarantee immediate payment. Oftentimes, hospitals and other healthcare providers do not receive payment from uninsured patients, therefore opening them up to the idea of reduced payment rather than no payment at all, avoiding a loss. We offer this service because those who experience an unexpected medical event are not prepared to negotiate or even aware they can. With a negotiated rate, Healing Together will add a profit margin to the bill, allowing our revenue stream to keep flowing. Building on this concept of negotiation, we wanted to drive our unfair advantage even further and build a metaphorical fortress around Healing Together. We will propose and execute exclusive contracts with large medical providers such as Primera and Kaiser Permanente, allowing them to refer those uninsured only to Healing Together. This allows facilities to feel secure knowing they will receive payment for their services, as well as allowing Healing Together to spread our message, attracting more customers. We will be first to market, allowing our organization to gain market share, and with these contracts in place, virtually untouchable by any future competition. Healing Together's average customer is someone that lives a healthy life and has one or more stable jobs. However, these individuals are also under or uninsured because they are unable to completely cover their family's medical needs. Healing Together also has extreme users, which you can see here. On one end of the spectrum, we have medical providers who naturally struggle to receive payments from these average customers that are victims of unexpected trauma that require care. On the other end of the spectrum, we have these post-traumatic event patients. The first channel to reach Healing Together's target customer is to utilize the nation's nationwide trauma systems such as the Washington Trauma System, Idaho TSE System, and California State Trauma System. These statewide systems are great resources to distribute our information to facilities and their ER departments as well as medical offices. The second channel to reach Healing Together's target customer is through the medical collection agencies. By building a relationship, these agencies can refer our services by calling their current customers who do not have sufficient health insurance and or exceed a certain dollar amount on their medical bills. These two channels can guarantee pathways to share Healing Together's services to the appropriate target customer. We live in a world that is consistently proving to be more mobile and interconnected than ever before. Whether it be ride-sharing services replacing traditional means of rapid transportation or peer-to-peer lodging challenging how to think about travel, the sharing economy has created a culture of trust within communities, and healthcare is the next prosaic institution that must be challenged by innovation. Patients need not make the difficult decision of whether they should seek out medical care or simply avoid it, for fear of the impending bill that follows. Healing Together is a catalyst to reducing overall medical costs and creating transparency in medical billing. We can start by humanizing the medical care process, reminding medical providers and insurers that the patients are the ones who ultimately bear the cost with changes in healthcare policy. Healing Together pools patients' resources and helps them afford the medical care they need, as well as helping medical providers get paid quickly. Regardless of their financial future or circumstances, Healing Together can be accessed by patients with medical bills as they need the support of a community. Healing Together, working together towards healing for a better tomorrow.